You want a delicious and moist babka, yet you want to venture outside the traditional chocolate swirl bread recipes and shaping? You are at the right place. In this video, I will share with you my own version of the star chocolate bread recipe. All the ingredients will be in the description box below. And if you like this kind of content all about simplifying the Jewish life, please consider subscribing. So let's jump into it. In a bowl, you're going to mix half a cup of warm water with 7 grams of dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar. You will mix it and you will put it aside while we're mixing the other ingredients. In a mixer or in a large bowl, put 4.5 cups of flour, half a cup of sugar with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of cinnamon with half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and mix everything. Add 130 grams of melted vegan butter or margarine with 1/3 of a cup of plant-based milk. Add the mixture to your dry components and mix slowly. Add the proof yeast and then you can mix it on low speed. Your eggs should be added one at a time and make sure they are fully incorporated into the mixture before adding the other egg. If you feel that at any point the dough is too sticky, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour. Whether by hand or with the electric mixer, you are going to knead the dough for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you are going to grease a bowl. The dough by this time should be nice and stretchy. You're going to place it in your grease bowl, cover it. Then you have two options, or you're going to leave it about 4 hours at room temperature for the flavors to develop, or you can leave it overnight in the fridge. That will ensure that the flavors will be fully developed. Then the next morning or a few hours later, you're going to retrieve it. After kneading it a little bit, you're going to see how stretchy and beautiful the dough is, and you are going to weigh your dough. That is very important because we need to separate the dough in equal parts to ensure that each layer of our star chocolate bread will be equal in thickness. I have divided my dough in 4 pieces, but you can divide it as many pieces or layers that you want. Then you're going to simply roll your dough. It should be equal in thickness. I like for mine to be about 1/16 of an inch in thickness. Place a plate on top of your rolled dough and cut off the excess. You are going to then flip the dough onto the plate and leave it on it for it to maintain its circular shape. You will cover it with some saran wrap to make sure that the dough does not dry up. Once you have repeated the steps for the 4 layers of your star chocolate swirl babka, then you will uncover them and start to layer them one on top of the other. You will take your dough and the fun will begin. You will spread your chocolate ganache. The recipe is in the description box. You could put some cinnamon with apple for Rosh Hashanah or for any time, and you will simply repeat the process for the next 2 layers. So you're going to put the chocolate, put it and spread it, leave a little edge for it not to go overboard. Then for the final layer, you will leave it obviously empty. Put a glass in the middle of your star chocolate bread and cut angles 90 degrees at first and then in between each of the angles until you end up with 16 pieces. That's my favorite number, but of course you can cut it in as many pieces as you want. One last step before shaping your star is to make sure that every pieces are completely detached from one another. This will definitely facilitate your shaping. You can shape your star different ways. The first way is simply to twist once and then put the edges together. This will be the result. For maximum effect, I prefer to twist them toward each other 3 times. Then I'm going to connect the edges together to form that beautiful triangle. And I will repeat these steps for every branches of our star chocolate bread. Once that you have done the twisting and shaping of your star chocolate swirl babka, it will look like this. Cover your babka with a clean tea towel and let it rise for an hour to an hour and a half. Then put it in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven and let it bake for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, pour half of the syrup onto the babka and then continue baking for another 10 minutes. Once your star chocolate bread is fully baked, baste it with the rest of the syrup. It will yield the most delicious and moist babka. The final secret step that we've learned already in the 1-hour babka video is to cover your piping hot babka with a clean tea towel that will ensure that you have the perfect chocolate swirl bread every single time. And if you like this kind of content, all about simplifying the Jewish life, please consider subscribing. We do upload new content every week. Until next time, stay blessed, stay safe, and don't forget to frum it up.